All right, so in this index.html page, a few things that I want to highlight. And a lot of the stuff, again, we're just doing a very surface level introduction to HTML, just enough to help you write your web applications. So I'll just comment on a few things, but a lot of the stuff you're not going to have to necessarily worry about. We start an HTML file with this special tag, which is the exclamation point, bang, doc type HTML. It's like, hey, this is an HTML file. Everything else in this document is wrapped in HTML tags. So we can see HTML, close HTML. And then within the HTML tags, there's two chunks. There's the headers, which is head here. And this is a bunch of either meta tags. This defines what character set we're using. You can always hover over these and learn more about it, which is great that VS Code does that for us. The title of the web page, is going to be what shows up in like your tab bar in Chrome. That is defined as part of the head here. After the head then are the body tags. And so here's the body open, the body close, everything else is in the body. And we can see we have a variety of things. So I'm just going to give you a brief introduction to some of these. There's H1, H2, H3, H4. These are heading tags. H1 is the most prominent heading, and it goes down from there. HTML was designed not to specify how things look in the web browser, leaving that up to like the web browser or style sheets that we're going to get to next, but more like what is the meaning of the thing. So we tend not to say things are like bold. We say this is a heading. So it implies like more the context for it and the structure for it rather than how we want it formatted. Here's that image tag. So we have an example of this. Here's that source attribute again that specifies the icon to load. Alt is like what the alt text is for the image. So for screen readers, for accessibility, really important to include that. If you hover your cursor over the image, you'll also see the alt text. Here's a paragraph. UL stands for an unordered list. There's also OL for an ordered list. Unordered lists are like bullet points. Ordered lists are numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's a list of 3 items. Here's another paragraph. Here's another paragraph. A stands for anchor. That's how we add a hyperlink to an HTML document. So if we have an anchor, we always have the attribute href, which is like the web page we're referring to. So this will be Mozilla Manifesto, and it'll be underlined, and usually it's formatted blue. And if I click on it, I'm going to go to this page. We'll use div a bit. Div stands for like, I don't know what div stands for. Maybe division. It's used for block elements that don't have like a semantic meaning. HTML purists are like, you shouldn't use divs. You should use elements that have semantic meanings. We end up using divs a lot. But it's just a way to organize our different sections of our HTML page. Button is another element. It renders a default HTML button. Here we've assigned the attribute class to the value demo. We're going to build on this tomorrow when we start writing some JavaScript code that goes with this. So you can right-click on index.html, and the first option isn't going to say run code anymore because it's an HTML file. It will say open with live server. And if you click this, get over here, here it is. Okay, so basically what VS Code is doing behind the scenes is it's running a web server locally on your computer. That's 127.0.0.1 is a special IP address, which means local host, or this computer, the one I'm sitting in front of. And so this is what that web page looks like when it's rendered. We can see the link, we can see the image, all the good stuff. So tomorrow,